everybody, and welcome to week 4, aka the final week of the OWLS readathon. It is Wednesday, my dudes. No, it's Wednesday the 22nd, I believe. I think it's Earth Day. That's fun. Next Thursday will be the final day of April, which means that is the end of the readathon. So your girl's got a lot of reading to do this week. To quickly run through the plan for this week, I am planning on finishing City of Bones today. I have like 80 something pages left. I don't have a ton left, and this is so quick and easy to read because it's very fast paced, but also it's a reread, so I already know everything that's happening. But hopefully I can get this done today, and then I will be moving on to reading Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I'm going to be reading this physically, and hopefully I can also get through this in the next week. Smart of me to pick the biggest Harry Potter book to read during a readathon, but it's fine. This also should be quick, like City of Bones, because I know the story so well. It's a reread. It should go relatively quickly. After I finish City of Bones, while I'm physically reading Order of the Phoenix, I think I'm going to listen to the audiobook for City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. This is the second book in the Mortal Instruments series, and as you can see, a reread of all of Cassandra Clare's books are happening. So this is the next one. Me, Andrea, and Therese are doing this, and we planned to read the first two in the Mortal Instruments series in April. So I don't want to fall behind in the first month. The audiobook for this is on Libby, so I probably will do that. I might read it physically if I have the time, but I think the audiobook will probably be very helpful. This is the plan. This is what I'm trying to get through in the next week, in a day technically, because I've been starting and ending these vlogs on Wednesdays, but technically the last day of the month is Thursday, so I sort of have a bonus day to get through all these. That is my plan. I'm going to, I think, read City of Bones right now. I want to get this done because I need to do my May journal with me video. March went by so slow that I was never like worried about my April journal with me. I had the plan, I knew what I wanted to do, and I just had plenty of time to film it and get it uploaded. But then April went by so fast, and I haven't done anything for my May journal, and May starts next week. So I really need to film and do my May journal with me. But that's why I want to finish City of Bones like right now, because then I can finish that and then start listening to the City of Ashes audiobook while I do my journal. So it's still like productive, and I'm still reading, and we're still getting some reading done. So that's the plan. So yeah, I'm gonna go and probably have something to eat, but I'm gonna go and complete City of Bones and then start my May journal with me, and I'll just keep you guys updated. You know how these work. I've done 3 of these already. You know how these vlogs work. Okay friends, it is Friday. We've had a pretty productive morning. Productive for where we're at right now. I vacuumed, I mopped, I did the voiceover for my May journal video, I uploaded my May journal video, I showered. We need to continue this productivity streak with reading. So yesterday I filmed my May journal with me video. I think I said something about filming it on Wednesday. I didn't do that. I filmed it yesterday. But while filming that and just kind of throughout the day yesterday, I started listening to City of Ashes, and I believe I'm up to page 149. I think I'm in the middle of chapter 8. I've started chapter 8, which is the Sealy Court chapter, so not looking forward to reading this, but it's okay. Not too many thoughts about this because I think this is like my least favorite in the Mortal Instruments series, I think. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening when I reread this whole series and how I feel about them compared to how I felt about them the first time I read them. But this one I think was my least favorite the first time around, so it should be interesting. And I probably will continue to listen to that a bit today. I'm really happy I do have the audiobook for it because I don't think there would be a way for me to finish Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix and that in a week. But speaking of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, I am up to, the bookmark is going to fall out. This bookmark is so cute, but it always falls out of the book because it's so heavy on the bottom, so it's cute, but like also kind of inconvenient. But I'm up to chapter 5, page 79. For some reason, it's kind of taking me a little bit to like completely invest in this book for some reason. It's Harry Potter, so like obviously I love it and enjoy it, but for some reason I just haven't like sat down and just like completely immersed myself in it yet. But I know once I like finally start doing that, I'm not gonna be able to put it down because it's Harry Potter and I love Harry Potter. Did you know that? Probably not. We're at the part where he's at Grimmauld Place now, and I feel like this is when things start to get a little bit more interesting. I don't know, I just really like it when he's with like the Weasleys and his friends and everybody. I just really like seeing them all together. Plus the Weasley family, love them, would die for them. So I just love seeing them. Also, apologies for that clip of me crying over Taehyung. He did a live stream and I was actually awake for it. I feel like I'm always asleep when they go live. From BTS, by the way. Did you know? Never talk about them. But they always end up doing lives around like 4 or 5 in the morning for me, so I am never awake to see them. So I was very happy to have witnessed that. Plus, I kind of love that guy. You know, he's aight. But apologies for that clip if that even makes it in. But yeah. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I think what I'm going to do before I start reading is get my May journaling video like all set. I need to take the thumbnail and do like the description box and everything, so I think I might do that before I start reading. Now I'm just talking to a camera instead of doing something productive, so I'm going to go and do my video and then read. This is a new angle. When you vlog within the same 4 walls, you gotta try new things. So it is now Monday, April 27th. We have today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and the owls are complete. And I'm starting to get a little stressed. So I only have technically 1 book left for the owls, and that's Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix. But I have like a little under 700 pages left, and I have to finish it by Thursday. I think I can do it. I've done it before. I've read this book in like 2 days, I think, before, 2 or 3 days. So like I know it's possible. I just have to focus and actually like read and not get distracted by 1,000 other things. So yeah, I'm currently up to page 179 and I think there's 870 pages in this book. So I literally just have under 700 pages to go. It should be interesting to see if I actually get that done, because I'm also still reading City of Ashes, which I realized I said I was starting this and reading this, but I didn't actually summarize how I felt about City of Bones. I was still reading City of Bones at the beginning of this vlog, so I'll quickly talk about that. Should I go and get the book? I probably should. So with City of Bones, I've decided it's a mess, but it's an entertaining mess. There are things about this book and just the main Mortal Instruments series that I don't love. There's things I don't love. There's characters I don't really like. Certain plot points I'm just not a fan of, but it was still entertaining. Like there's a lot of iconic moments from the Shadowhunter world, the start of the series, in this book, and I also felt kind of nostalgic reading this book. I only read this book and like the Shadowhunter books for the first time like 4 years ago. I think I started them in 2016. So it hasn't been that long since I read them for the first time, but reading this just like brought back all the excitement I had for getting into the series the first time. I was so excited when I bought this book to finally like start this series. I had seen so many people on BookTube talking about it for a while that I was just like, okay, it's about time I get into this. And I'm very grateful for this book, because without this book, we wouldn't have like all the other Shadowhunter books that I love. And this is like the iconic start of the Shadowhunter world. So for that reason, it was a lot more enjoyable than I was expecting it to, and I don't know, I didn't hate my experience rereading this. I did make a lot of jokes about it, and I was annoyed with the characters and the plot and everything, but at the same time, it was entertaining, and it also made me feel like nostalgic for when I was starting the series. So I don't know, like it wasn't the worst time. I ended up giving it a 3.5 star because I was stuck between giving it a 4 star purely based off of entertainment, but it, like I said, it was a mess, so I was going to give it a 3 star, so I just settled for a 3.5. But yeah, so that was City of Bones. But I have been listening to City of Ashes, like I said, and this is just a mess. This isn't even an entertaining mess, this is just a mess. I remember when I read the series for the first time, this I think was one of, if not my least favorite book in the main series, and so far I can understand why. I'm a little over halfway through, I don't know if you can see that, and I'm like almost 300 pages in, and I feel like I could quickly summarize what has happened so far in like 2 sentences. Not a whole lot has happened other than Jace and Clary and their relationship and how it changes at the end of this book and how they're dealing with it, and it just makes me feel gross. I don't want to say too much because of spoilers. Like I know I've seen a lot of people like reading this series for the first time around right now, so I don't want to say too much, but it's kind of gross. It's not kind of gross, it is gross. Clary and Jace and what their relationship is, how they're reacting to it. It's not good. On top of them being gross, I already find Clary and Jace extremely annoying. So not only are they being gross, but they're being annoying on top of it. And I'm just like, I cannot deal with these people. And I feel like mainly so far this book has been focused on them. There has been a couple of other things that have happened, but for the most part, we've been just dealing with Clary and Jace and their annoyingness. I do know that the end of this book does get a bit more exciting, I think. When I was thinking about this book, that was the only thing I remembered that happened in this book, and I think that is the only thing that happens in this book. So I'm excited to get to the end and to read, like, the only thing that happens in this book. But so far, I'm not having a great time reading this one. The cover's pretty, though, so that's nice. Yeah, I'm not really having the best time with City of Ashes, and I'm listening to the audiobook thinking that it would make it go faster and because I have to read this, but it's making me even more uncomfortable with Clary and Jace. Like, listening to it and like hearing people actually like say it, it's just not good. So yeah, obviously Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, I'm enjoying. This, not so much. Will I get these done by the end of the month? Only time will tell. And completely other irrelevant news to the Owls. Tomorrow by Together comeback, May 18th, everybody get ready. So that's fun. What else has happened? Nothing. I guess that's it. In other news, I might continue weekly vlogging. I can use the excuse that they'll be boring because we can't leave our house, but like they'd be boring anyways, and they'd be like that even if things were normal. But I was just thinking about how like I've gotten into this routine of vlogging for the Owls, and I've been really enjoying putting up weekly vlogs, so I might continue doing it after the Owls end. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think that that's it. I'm gonna go and actually read because I have 700 pages of Harry Potter to get through in 4 days. So yeah, I need to go read. So it is now May 1st, which means the OWLS readathon has come to an end, and I passed. Just barely too. I finished Order of the Phoenix last night with like 2 hours before midnight, so I just made it. But I have my journal here, and I'm going to open to my spread for this readathon and just kind of talk about every book that I read for this readathon. But quickly, before we get into that, I'm going to share my thoughts on City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. I wasn't reading this for the Owls, but I was mentioning this book in this vlog, so I figured I would share what I thought about it. I ended up giving this 2 stars. Yikes. I just feel like nothing really of significance happened in this book other than like a couple of things. I feel like a lot of things with Simon in this book were important, and there were a couple of things with Clary and sort of Jace too that were important, but like for the most part, a majority of this book was just Clary and Jace being gross and annoying. I spent a majority of this book either feeling not really any emotion at all, I just didn't really care, or grossed out by Clary and Jace. It doesn't help that I find them both very annoying as well, so on top of them being gross, they were also being annoying, and it was just not the best time. I think the only redeemable thing about this book was the fact that it is a Shadowhunter book, and I do enjoy the Shadowhunter world. I have a whole shelf on my bookshelf dedicated to Cassandra Clare's books, so I kind of like the Shadowhunter universe. But this book, sadly, is just not as good as some of her other books, so yeah, I gave it 2 stars. Yikes. Okay, so now I'm going to go through what I read for the OWLS readathon. So I went for the librarian career. I did have charms as an extra class, just in case I wanted to try and go for the graphic designer career, but I didn't do that prompt because I didn't have time. So I just ended up going for the librarian career. So I had 5 OWLS that I needed to complete. The first one was Ancient Runes, and for that I read Every Heart a Doorway by Shawnee McGuire, and I gave that 5 stars. I really liked this book. I definitely want to continue on with this series. I thought it was such a unique concept, and I really enjoyed it, so I definitely want to read the rest of them. And then for Arithmancy, I read The Guest List by Lucy Foley, and again, gave this 5 stars. I really enjoyed this. This was my first time really reading a thriller or a mystery, so it was really, really good and really entertaining and fun. I feel like describing it as fun is kind of messed up because, like, again, someone was murdered, so, like, that's not that fun, but you know what I mean. I thought this was really good. I believe this comes out May 5th, so if you're interested in this, definitely would recommend. It was really good, so I'm very excited to pick up more thrillers in the future. And then for Defense Against the Dark Arts, I read To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo, and I'm pretty sure I gave that a 4.5 stars. I also really enjoyed this book. This was a Little Mermaid retelling, and I just really enjoyed it. It made me want to pick up more, like, standalone fantasies. I really love fantasy. It's my favorite genre to read from, but I also really love series as well, and I feel like a lot of times those kind of go hand in hand, but I definitely know that there are fantasy standalones out there, and it was really nice to just start a book and finish it and then that be it. So if you have any recommendations for standalone fantasies, whether they're middle grade, YA, adult, I don't care what age category they are in, if you have any recommendations for standalone fantasies, let me know down below. That one was really good, and I want to read more from this author. I want to read more Little Mermaid retellings. It was just a great time. And then for History of Magic, I read Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, which was the last book that I read for the Owls. Pro tip, if you're going to do a readathon and you have a book that's almost 900 pages on your TBR, maybe read that closer to the beginning. Don't save it for the final book. Also, maybe don't pick the biggest book in the Harry Potter series to read for a readathon. Make smarter choices than me. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I love Harry Potter. I basically cried the whole end of this. I had like a little over 100 pages left yesterday, and I pretty much cried those entire pages, so it was great. Also, completely unintentional, I read the book that they take the owls in. That was not done on purpose. I kind of forgot that they took the owls in this book. I didn't forget, I just didn't like think about it, and then I started reading it, and then they mentioned the owls, and I was like, oh my god, perfect. So I think 7th year is when they take the newts. Well, Harry and Hermione and Ron are a little busy in their 7th year, but they would be taking the newts in their 7th year. So maybe for the newts readathon in August, I will read Deathly Hallows somehow. I don't know. We'll figure that out when the time comes. I don't even know how many books I have to read for the newts. We're just gonna worry about that when it gets here. But yeah, obviously this was great, and it was so fun to read a Harry Potter book during a Harry Potter readathon. I'm kind of annoyed I didn't end up watching a Harry Potter movie once this month, but I really want to watch them now. I really want to watch the 5th one since I just read the book, so maybe I'll watch that soon. But yeah, this was great, as expected. And then the 5th and final owl that I had to take was for Transfiguration, and for that I read City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, and I ended up giving this a 3.5 stars. I'm thinking about lowering it to a 3 stars, but it's around that 3.5 star range. I think this was a fun start to the series, but it is a mess. But like I said, it's an entertaining mess, so I don't know why I keep doing this. Someone please tell me to stop doing peace signs. I literally cannot stop. So yeah, these are a few of the books I read for the owls. I completed all of the owls I needed to complete for the librarian career, and I'm very excited. Like I said, I have no idea how many books I'm going to have to read for the Newts readathon in August, but we'll worry about that when the time comes. I probably will also be vlogging the Newts as well. I'm going to try weekly vlogging just in general, I think, after this, because I just really liked doing these weekly vlogs, so I'm going to try and do that as well, but I will probably also weekly vlog the Newts in August, which is going to be a fun month because that's also my birthday month. But I think that that is going to complete this vlog. I do want to say thank you to G from Book Roast for hosting such an incredible readathon. I think this was a good time for this readathon to happen. Obviously, I wish that the world wasn't, you know, the way that it was right now, but I think it was a really good distraction for a lot of us, and it was something to kind of look forward to and to motivate us to read, because I don't think I would have read nearly as much this month if I didn't have to do this readathon. Not that I was like forcing myself to read during this month, but it definitely was motivating me to keep reading, and I also just loved interacting with anyone who was participating as well. So it was just so much fun. So thank you again to G from Book Roast hosting this readathon. It was so much fun. I would love to know if you participated in this readathon, if you completed all of your owls, if you were successful, what career you were going for. I really, really want to know. I love this readathon so much, so I just want to know if everyone succeeded. It's okay if you didn't, but if you did, let me know. But I think that that's going to wrap up this vlog. So thank you for watching these very interesting magical readathon vlogs, and I will see you in August for the Newts. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. you.